Hey y'all, I am Tierra Burns, a licensed clinical social worker and therapist in the state of California, Florida, Texas, North Carolina, and Georgia. I have started what I am calling the Rest series, and this is part 2 where I am going to share 6 different types of rest. And like always, I am preparing to go and see clients, so I am going to be doing my makeup while I talk about this. So let's get into it. So the first type of rest is the type of rest that we all know, the type that gets over talked about and is leaned on heavy, and that is physical rest. The type of rest people are like, oh, you just need to go to sleep, like, oh, I just need to go take a nap, I just need to rest my body. And while that is true, there are a lot of times where you do need to go rest your body, you do need to sleep, you do need to take a nap. A part of the physical rest is also allowing your body to do things physically that makes you feel, or makes your brain feel, that you are now safe. So it's not just napping, it's not just sleeping. Sometimes it's just watching a good old movie that makes you relax, that makes your body say, oh, I'm home, I'm safe. Your amygdala does not have to be on alert. Sometimes it's doing a hobby. Sometimes it's, self-care, which has been commercialized a lot. But sometimes it is that self-care. And self-care where you're really nourishing the parts of you, the physical parts of you that needs nourishment, that needs taken care of. So that might also be doing relaxation muscle techniques and exercises. That might also be getting a foot massage, whether it's at home or at a spa. Like there's even different types of things that you can do to get physical rest. And while a lot of people harp on sleep, I believe it's because of grind culture, of how, you have to be up, you have to keep doing the work, you have to make that money, but you also have to do things outside of sleep to make sure that your body is getting what it is yelling at you for. So yeah, that's the first one. The second type of rest is emotional rest. Emotional rest, I honestly feel like a lot of people needs this. I feel like a lot of people are taking care of everybody else's emotions, neglecting their own emotions to the point where they don't even know why they're feeling how they're feeling, or why they're feeling, the reason why they're feeling how they're feeling. They don't even understand, or they're not in tune with their body to even understand their emotions, because they're so busy deflecting on others or whatever didn't go right, to the point where they have been paralyzed emotionally. And so a part of, that rest is not suppressing your feelings anymore. Taking care of those emotions, paying attention to those emotions. Also understanding that you don't have to perform. You don't have to perform. I can't find my, okay. You don't have to perform like everything's okay, because that doesn't honor you, that doesn't honor your emotions, and that doesn't let you rest in that emotion. A lot of times people will judge themselves and critique themselves, and also try to justify their emotions as if having emotions is bad, as if their emotions are invalid, as if they need a reason to feel why they are feeling what they're feeling. Sometimes it is, I'm mad because you did this and that, and I don't need to explain why I'm mad. Like, my feelings are valid. My emotions are valid. And I want to honor my emotions. And that's okay. And that is okay. Right? The third type of rest is spiritual rest. I think I'm going to do another video on this, but a lot of churches that I've been to, I say it that way, will preach about doing, going. You need to be workers. Faith without works is dead. And we are harping on this work as we need to continuously and always be busy. And I feel that sometimes we in the church, we are preaching busyness and burnout, which is another form of being in bondage. Instead of preaching from a lens of freedom in the work that we are doing, but also answering it as a call, and not because there is a need or making it feel like it's an obligation because someone of leadership or someone of some influence want me to do it. So spiritual rest requires you not to just focus on the work, but focus on the one who created you to even be able to do the work. Because when you're staying busy, you're missing what God is trying to do. When you are confusing your hands of doing in the work that you're doing for devotion, you are missing some of the divine revelation that God may be trying to tell you. And so you're not spiritually rest. You're more spiritually arrested because you're binded. You're in chains to work. You're enslaved to church work because you believe that is what's getting you closer, or even making you the Christian. Because a lot of times we're performing Christianity instead of being and living out our Christianity. Spiritual rest is also understanding that you're not doing things out of duty. You're not doing things out of manipulation. You're not doing things for the sole purpose of other people. Because God didn't call us to just be for other people and not be what we need for ourselves, or not give ourselves the things that we need. Like, it is always a blessing to be a blessing to others. Love the saying, it is. But a lot of times we are blessing others without blessing ourselves or allowing people to bless us. Or allowing God to bless us. It's also a blessing to be free enough to have a relationship with God that isn't rooted in guilt, shame, burnout, busyness, illusions, performance, that God wants you to show. Like, rest in the fact that God wants you to show up as you. He is desiring you. He wants you. He wants you to be you in the church. Now, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it doesn't require transformation, right? Be transformed. Like, yes, you are to be transformed. You are to be renewed. You are to be made sanctified and righteous. You ought to do all those things. So I'm not saying to, like, the church should accept you for you in your flaws and your wholeness, and you're not supposed to grow and be. That's not what I'm talking about here. But as far as working and doing and being able to rest in a way where you are connected to your creator, that is what it means to have rest. Spiritual rest, spiritual clarity, spiritual insight, operating in your gifts and your talents, knowing when God has called you to bless who in what area, because you are not assigned to everybody. You're just not. You're not assigned to everybody. And it's okay. That is okay. I just had to take a deep breath there, because I feel like when it comes to spiritual rest, I don't hear it preached a lot, and I think we are starting to raise kids into young adults who glorify burnout and working over a relationship with the Lord. The next type of rest I want to talk about is creative rest. For those that are entrepreneurs, creatives, artists, even those that are educators and corporate workers and employees and lawyers, like, you still have a type of creativity that you're using every day. And sometimes you have to take a creative rest, creative sacred pause to gain clarity, to gain insight, to be inspired, uplifted, to be rejuvenated. Because if you are tired of creating, if you are tired physically, you cannot even begin to like process things in a way that would be productive and helpful, effective to your creative process. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Like, you have to rest, you have to think of other things outside of your craft to ensure that you can sustain whatever craft, whatever thing you need to do to be creative, whatever thing you are being creative in. The creative process is different for so many people, but taking breaks and understanding that it's okay to take the break without like guilting yourself or gaslighting yourself as if you can like keep going like you the Energizer bunny rabbit thingy thing, is like necessary in order to create more and again sustain your creativity. The last one, not the last one, the next one that I want to talk about is psychological rest. I think a lot of times this happens, at work, of course, but also parents may, especially single parents, may experience this as well. Or people that are usually or used to being like the strong friend, the one that fixes everything, the one that makes sure everything goes right in the family. Everything must happen plan to plan, and everybody comes to you for the answers. Nobody knows anything. Like, everybody has to come to you for all the answers. One of the things that we don't talk about a lot is decision fatigue. A lot of times Black women are misunderstood with this whole angry Black woman phenomenon. And when you are raised in a culture that, and it's not just the Black community, what I'm, as I work with different cultures, I'm starting to understand that it's a phenomenon within many minority cultures. But anyways, if you're raised in a community where, as the woman, I can only speak from a female perspective because that's what I am. But as a woman, you were taught to handle everything. You were the one that fixed everything, especially if you were the eldest child. You was like that third parent or a second parent, and you always had to do and make the decisions, to the point that sometimes your siblings may resent you for that. Sometimes, not all the time. But one of the things that I am starting to notice when it comes to decision fatigue is that, one, it's hard to put that down because a lot of people have made it their identity. So in the Black community, we talk about wearing this cape, like you can do everything, and you're superwoman, you're superhuman, and you just go, you do, you're fix, and you don't know, it even gets to the point where you want to put it down but don't know how to put it down sometimes. That it has become so wired in your DNA, you have been deeply conditioned to believe that if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. And if that is your mindset, it's even hard for you to ask for help. It's hard for you to embrace the help. Like, you would push away the help without even recognizing that you're pushing away the help. Which leads into busyness, which leads into burnout, which leads into resentment, which leads into these negative core thoughts of just not being enough, or having to do it all by yourself, or nobody is going to like take care of you. It's all these thoughts that come when we are not allowing ourselves or giving ourselves the ability to take a rest psychologically. Problem solving constantly, it can become tiresome. It's a lot when you always have to solve everybody's problems. And then it creates brain fog, it creates racing thoughts. A lot of times, this frustration, this irritability that we see in parents, like, why is she like that? Like, what's wrong with her? She's tired psychologically. She has decision fatigue. Your wife might have decision fatigue. The reason why she got an attitude because you asked what was for dinner or where y'all going next week. Instead of making a decision, she might have decision fatigue. She might need psychological rest. Yeah. Insomnia also is a big one when it comes to this. People are like, I don't know why I can't sleep. I don't know. I haven't been able to sleep lately, and I don't know why. Because you're staying up trying to fix everybody's problem. You're not allowing yourself to let go of that problem and go to sleep. The problem has, again, arrested you. And while they sleep, you up trying to fix their problem. They in bed, knocked out good, but you up trying to fix their problem. So psychological rest looks like letting the problem go for a few moments or a day or a week where you're not worried about it, you're not focusing on it, you're not trying to figure it out, or even letting people figure out their own problems, saying, I don't have it in me right now. I don't know what you need to do. One of the things I saw, I was watching, I was reading, it came up on a news feed on Google. I was reading where Tyler Perry basically cut off his family from any help and told them that they need to get jobs. And the writer of the article asked, do y'all think that was fair? Do y'all think that's a good idea? Do y'all agree with them, with Tyler Perry? And what Tyler Perry did, one, was force his family to become self-sufficient and take care of themselves. Because one, he's not always going to be here. That's one. Two, he gave himself permission to not only have his finances back, not only have his time back where he don't feel guilty for it, but he can now rest psychologically where he doesn't have to carry the burdens of making family decisions, making decisions for grown folk and their money and what they need to do, because he said, no, you need to go get a job so that you can handle yourself financially and do the things you need to do and have the resources to do whatever you need to do and whatever decisions you need to make in your life. He set them up to have their own autonomy, to not depend on him for everything. And while a lot of people want to be like, well, he's a millionaire, a billionaire, a millionaire, or whatever, he has money. And like, people that have money, they're not responsible to take care of their grown family members. And it's a difference between enabling immaturity and irresponsibility versus helping someone that's in need. And a lot of people feel entitled to things that they never worked for, that they never would try to work for. And that they know that they would never try to gain or reach. But because I have it could be really any connection. Because I have some type of connection with you, I feel like you owe it to me. That's unfair for people to assume and to put on people that have worked hard, that have not only dreamed but put sweat and tears into what they are doing, to then get there and feel like they have to take on the world and take care of everybody because you don't want to hold your own weight. So I totally agree with Tyler Perry, and I'm glad that he told his family that, or whoever he told that to. And I'm glad that he forced them not only to grow up, but teaching them this is how this is how you live life. This is how you make the money and get the resources to do the things that you want to do. And I will help you. When God tell me to help you. I'm not, I mean, you just can't help, you can't help everybody. You got to be selective sometimes. You got to be smart. So it's not that I don't want to help you, but even in me telling you to get a job is me helping you. Even in me telling you that you need to work and build income and resources and networks, that is me helping you. That is me giving you the blueprint. Me giving you a job. You working at my studio, that is help. We got to also recognize how help can look different and stop assuming that help is only a bailout. Because that's two different things. I feel like I went on a tangent on that, but I strongly have feelings about people that try to manipulate folks that way, because I feel like that's a form of manipulation. But yes. So the last rest, and we kind of started diving into this a little bit, is relational rest. That sometimes you need to rest from that family, from that friend, from your husband, it is not that you don't love your husband or your wife. It is not that the love is not there. But sometimes you're still your own person. Like sometimes you need to have that break. You need that solitude time. Now, some people don't need the solitude time. Some people, they are good when they're around people, and they just have a high battery for other people than other people. You just gotta know yourself in that one, to be honest. But I'm trying to make sure. Sorry, y'all. When we get to the bacon and stuff, I have to. Okay. But yes, that means sometimes you have to put your phone on do not disturb. Like I am an advocate for DND. Do not disturb. I am an advocate for doing it because you cannot be on your phone 24/7 and allowing people in your ear 24/7. You need a break from people. You need a break from listening to stuff and just to hear your own thoughts, to hear your own feelings, to know how what you're thinking, what you got going on. One of the things that I think people in this time, like in modern day, is I feel like a lot of times whenever we text people, we feel like we need to, or it's expected for us to text right back. Like every text message is not urgent. It's just not. Like this could wait. I could hold on till tomorrow. I don't have to, or a few hours. And then it's almost like if you don't text right back, then people feel like you're ignoring them, but maybe I'm legitly busy. Maybe I legitly didn't see your text. Why does it have to be, oh, you're ignoring me? Why do we go straight for that? Straight to, oh, you're ignoring me. And why do we expect people to text us right back as soon as we text back within 2 minutes, within 2 seconds? If we don't see the little bubbles come up on our phone, we're already getting anxious or feel some type of way that they didn't text us. Like, slow down. Give them time. But even so, like, don't allow that pressure to be on you. Like, it's okay to say, I'm going to respond later, or I need time, or I am going to rest. Like, relational rest is a thing. Solitude is huge. Solitude is necessary. Not isolation. Not isolation. Not forced isolation. But solitude. There's a difference. There is a difference, my people. Okay? Okay. So, all right. So, yes. So, I'm going to do part 3 of this series. And finish my face doing part 3. So, y'all go ahead and watch part 3. Like this video, subscribe, and go watch part 3. Because I'm going to talk about rest in the Black church. Yeah. All right, y'all. Have a great day. And I'm going to go finish my face before I get to work.